Hello everyone and welcome to the stream. This is Otaku Showboat. Today is Sunday, June 23rd, 2019, and today is more of the Pyanodon's playthrough. As soon as I started talking, so the cat is right next to me, sleeping. As soon as I started talking, he pops his head up, suddenly surprised that I've started making noises. Yeah, go back to sleep. So of course, since he's here, I'm going to be constantly petting the kitty. Folks around here are asleep right now, slash just getting up, which means Kitty hasn't had his breakfast yet, so he should be leaving at some point to eat. Anyway, let us see. Nothing to update there. So today is the first day of Summer Games Done Quick, and it will actually officially begin about half an hour before I will end off my stream today, which is eh. I try to watch what I can of it, but I don't know. Something about this year has not been the same level of enthusiasm as before. And I usually buy 2 t-shirts from the Yeti to help support the charity and also get something out of it. Not wearing an SGDQ t-shirt today, but I have a bunch. I was going to pick some up, but having a look at what's currently available through the Yeti, like before the official start of SGDQ, I really don't like the options that they have for the most part. There's only one shirt that I can see myself actually wearing consistently. Maybe one other. They have one that's Bowser from Super Mario World. Um, that's one that I know I would actually see myself wearing, and the other one I guess would be Marbles. They have a lot of esoteric games this time for shirts, uh, which I don't see myself buying those at all, just straight up. Anyway, today is continuing to work on the Circuit 2s, and cough, cough, Pyanodon, I did notice that you clipped the segment of me running into my own car with my car. Cough, cough. I noticed that. Thanks so much for that. Ahem. So I'm working on the process of getting to Circuit 2s. Now, let's refresh our memories, shall we, from last time. How is the power doing? Just fine. I took care of a lot of the inefficiencies from that last time. We'll see if Pyanodon actually shows up and takes part in the stream today. Not actually here at this very point in time. So I was working on this stuff. Need 16 Zippier reefs. See, this is why I have been writing the notes in here with the counts, so it's really so I need to say 7 automated factories for blood for Zippier processing, and I should add 16 reefs. That's what I'm working on. Move it to the top. 16 reefs is what we're working on right now. I have 3. And I may as well have these sitting right here in this line. Now, reefs need stone wool. I should have at least 106 saline water per second, because I'm sorta making saline water right up here. Should also be thinking about putting down additional radars. I need one right about here. Yeah, that works. And then I'll need one out at the salt. Where's my car's a little bit far away. Do I have another car and fuel for it? I do now. So I've actually started a personal playthrough on my own time with a quick start mod, which basically gives me robots from the very start of the game, a whole bunch of robots, just so that I can attempt to set up through Circuit 2s ahead of time, but we shall see. The robots end up using a ton of power. In case you didn't know, robots use energy. It's basically adding a requirement for energy for just transportation logistics, while still also having to use inserters, which isn't particularly wonderful, but excuse me. Get out of that spot. That bad spot. Oh boy. Anyway. Do I actually want these on this line, or do I want my stone wool? So first off, I will be using this recipe. I will probably be mining additional stone for this. Additional stone is right up there. I have a few spots for stone, actually. The only major issue, well, I say major, but it's not really a major issue, is that I sort of want stone over here to come in over here. What I might end up doing, because I know I won't have enough, quote, production of stone, and I know I need to void what I'm making over here. Is there any stone to the north? This would be a more convenient location for stone, but unfortunately, it appears as if that's not the case. How about down here? Not seeing stone in particular. So that's just a little unfortunate. bunch of stone way down there, but I'm not about to belt that all the way. Especially since I don't need tons of it. The alternative is to belt gravel. Because up here... but this isn't moving constantly. This isn't moving constantly, so... in the end, I think... what I'll do... Alright. Do you have enough stuff and things? Sorta? I mean, if this was operating fully, I don't think it would be enough stone. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reverse this belt down to here. Do I have enough? I don't have enough mining drills, so I'm going to need to go and grab some of those. So, new task. Add new. Mine stone. That is the current task. How about I actually get an accurate count of how much stone wool I will need. So, stone wool is... apparently not in one of these machines. High pressure furnace. Also needs steam. Right. Well, steam... it's convenient that this is steam and coke, because I can use coke to make steam. Alright, and I determined that I need how much stone wool for these again? I need 1.6 per second minimum. Oh wow, that's... inconvenient. Okay, oh boy. I will do this locally. I just need a whole bunch of high pressure furnaces. And then what exactly... what else is stone wool used for? DMS, which is involved in... ooh. The production of Kevlar. With industrial solvent. Used in an advanced electronics rubber recipe and used in MSA at advanced electronics. I'm not doing this recipe for Kevlar though, because I would need industrial solvent from stuff. Yeah, I'm doing the Kevlar from nylon, not the Kevlar from this. So because stone wool ultimately is only used in Zapier, for now, I might eventually want to make DMS, which that's a lot of stuff to make DMS. I may just run the stone wool straight to my Zapier processing. Okay. Controls. Controls. Hitting all the things. Here, go like this. Backwards. Go backwards, because clearly I can't play correctly at the moment. Clearly my head is mirrored right now. Give me those. Hello, Pyanodon! Welcome! Welcome. I am mining stone right now. That's what I'm going to be heading off to do for stone wool for 16 artificial reefs. For blood meal, for substrate 2, eventually printed circuit substrate 2, and yeah. Anyway. I'm working towards circuit 2s. Eventually. One day. One day, long from now. Yeah, stone is generated from a lot of things, but I like having control over the production. Full control over the production without having to spaghetti inputs from all various different sources. Is this even going to be enough? This is a convenient source of stone, but not even going to be enough. And besides, it may be a product of a whole bunch of different plate generating processes, or should I say, ore processing processes. They back up if you're not consistently using plates, and I try to avoid as much as I can any situations where the production of one thing is dependent upon the consumption of another thing. So because yeah, I have stone coming from the glass, which theoretically glass will always have at least some sort of demand because of it going into at least the 2 sciences at the moment, but eventually, soon, I won't have any science to science, and the glass will be fully backed up. So then, and then I need to like calculate how much stone I even have in the first place, and yeah, it gets annoying, which is why I would much rather have complete and total control over the production. This is not dense. Is there a better one? Because I know there's that 4.2, wasn't there? There's a 1 right there, there's a My options are limited. Incredibly limited. There's a couple up there, but can I get 60? Or at least more than 30, which is what I need. My target is 1.6 per second on stone wool, which is going to need a little bit more than a full yellow belt of stone in. Well, that's convenient. That's not a very dense patch, but I could, yeah, ground borers and soil, but I just want to check what's around me to see if there's nothing that's painfully obvious and easy to get to first. I mean, I'll use this patch that I'm sitting on just because it allows me to do the stone wool locally. I'm trying to... Because the stone wool will require more than a full yellow belt, and I'm not making red belts yet, I want to... Well, because I don't have red belts, I want to do it locally because I need more than one yellow belt of the stone input. If I had red belts being produced, I would be more inclined to send a full red belt's worth of throughput to the bus, but, I mean... Yeah, that I would need to be producing stainless steel and advanced small parts, which, seeing as how I'm not even doing steel yet, uh, seeing as how I'm not even doing molten steel yet, let alone stainless, and then advanced small parts, which is here, this tab, which is, of course, nylon, more stainless steel. I'm actually really close to having advanced small parts. Like, I'm in the process of getting into nylon. Yeah, well, nylon and stainless steel is missing. Um, I have the rubber for belts and the iron for bolts. Um, and the whole point of what I'm doing right now is the nylon chain, I think. I think this is the nylon chain anyway. Uh, yes, this is the nylon chain. Blood to blood meal. For the chromium blood meal phenol CO2 and steam recipe for nylon. I'll be doing cumene phenol from ceramics, benzene, and phosphoric acid and propene. I'll be getting the benzene from probably coal water slurry at the moment, unless I want to instead use the uh, process the tailings into Nextlit, and then use the Nextlit plate BTX and steam recipe, but then I'd have to worry about getting BTX. I'll do the propene from lead plates, syngas, and steam. And then I believe that somewhere in this process it also gives acetone. This particular recipe from phenol from cumene results in acetone, which is used for the organic solvent, which I'll be using for Kevlar. Yes, BTX is from oil, but I have to do oil for that. Anyway, I'm gonna use this for as long as this lasts. Oh, here's something I can do. Let's quit out, go to mods, and turn on Yarm. I do hope Yarm works with this. Lots of oil, which the way that you made the oil, I have lots of big oil patches for reference. I have lots of the very big ones, which the way that you made the mod is that you can only actually tap those patches later into the science chain. I can only really tap the small ones right now, and I'm unsure if I have easy access to very many small oil patches. Okay, so... Wait. Ah, there it is. There it is. So, Yarm, if I do an Alt-Y, and I click on that, what that will do is it will put a little thingy here, and once I start mining, it will tell me how quickly I'm mining, and then... Yeah, pump jacks can extract from anywhere, but I'm assuming that that's a very, 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 very inefficient process. $11, huh? Let's see, 22. It's 30 per yellow. Yes, this mod is really nice, and you can tell it if you have a whole bunch of entries, you can tell it to only show me warnings, which if I used it on... Tell me, please, that you can do it on this. Oh, right. Delete that, and then add this. And then add this. And then, because these are backed up here, it will say that it's nothing. Ding. No, not that one. That one. Oh, this mod also puts little markers as to what the things are. Various things are. Tap in you. Now, I'm assuming that this actually warns me when my miners stop mining, but I could be wrong. I usually am. About stuff and things. Alright, warnings only. Now, the thing about Yarn is, I think it basically assumes that you're attempting to mine an entire field at a time. Oh, right. I'd rather not use undergrounds, thanks. Now, as disappointing as the resource density is on this particular stone patch, it is very close to my source of coke, which is why I want to use this spot. In fact, I should probably have the belts going in the other direction. I'm just now noticing that I didn't pick up any poles. Oh. I need copper. Good thing I have copper close by, relatively. Yeah, let's go get some of that. Also might need wood. Should also increase my wood production a bit. A lot. So yeah, oil. Just going to slight detour here. I don't know if these are smalls. Which it's rather... It's unfortunate that this only tells you that it's crude oil and not like the size of the entity or what the actual entity is, because I mean I can sort of tell by the size of the squares that these are bigger. These might be smalls, so I could probably get this oil. And then these are probably mediums and large. I know I've got bigs up here, so... Yeah, I think this might be a patch of small. Those are not small. Well, anyway. Moving along. Kiamir. Copper. And then wood. Wood. Any nearby wood would be appreciated. Of course there's no nearby wood. There's wood on the other side of the bus. Ugh! This terrain. dislike volcanic. As nice as the volcanic terrain looks, I really don't like the degree of the speed reduction from it. I could tone down the speed reduction, but eh. Okay, there's supposed to be wood over here. Wood! Unfortunately, it's just fallen trees, which give half the amount. That's some good density on those. More up there. Don't think I'm gonna be running out of phosphate rocks anytime soon. Also, I just want to throw out there, Pyanodon, that the, wherever the heck it is, this guy, the recharging station, is incredibly overpowered. I just want to throw out there that the recharging station is incredibly overpowered because that's freaking 5 megawatts of power versus 1 on a standard base game Roboport. It only has the 4 charging slots, but robots go in and out like instantaneously. It's like, sure, there's only 4 slots, but the robots charge basically instantly. Well, I guess the other point is it's also really easy to make. Now, if you're comparing your version of the Roboport, I'm saying even compared to the stock Roboport, it's a 4x1 megawatt. If I'm not completely mistaken for the stock version of the Roboport. Yeah, good gift, but then you see your power spike so very much. So very much. When you transition to robots. Major spike with robots. Yeah, you say that, and how big's my bus so far? And I haven't even transitioned, not even making robots yet. I'll probably make them after Circuit 2's, just because then I'll be able to actually make, realistically, the Logibots. It's like, because only then will I really have logistics bots of any kind. I want my robots so I can set up a mall, like an actual area of producing all these various different types of buildings. That's the primary reason. Because there is no chance of feeding everything when it's belt-based. I know I can already make bots. Can I make your Logibots right now? Because that would be ideal. Which tab are they in again? They're called Pinobots. High tech. Yeah, I can make these. I just need lubricant. I have chromium. I have at least some rubber for belts. I have to bust my lead to start doing solder. And then, of course, oil processing. Again, oil processing. It's like, do I really want to abandon what I'm doing here, working towards... Let's make nylon first, at the very least, and then start doing that transition. Because eventually I will just have to terminate the bus. Because I really don't feel like having to turn my bus again up here in whatever direction. Or even did I just drive? By the way. See, I was going to do this recipe through the cumene recipe that gives, or the phenol recipe from cumene that gives phenol and acetone. But I am thinking I would need to supplement it. This is a really fast process. I have plenty of aromatics. But I would need to start mining zinc. Acetone from thin air. Acetone from thin air is... Well, from tholins, I have that. Yes. But I was... Yeah, I mean, I could do from tholins, but yet again, tholins... I'm assuming it's power inefficient at the very least. I have every single green tech Pyanodon, so of course I have the Tholen stuff. Or at least I have every green tech that doesn't also need, like, mill. Or doesn't have a prereq of a higher science. Okay, power. Spent all that time just to do this. Constantly distracting myself. Yeah, won't need that much of the acetone, but still. I was just looking at industrial solvent because I might want to instead do the other Kevlar recipe than what I'm planning. The recipe that doesn't need nylon. Because if I'm going to do oil processing, it's like, well, may as well look at that, because that then becomes an option. A lot of alternative recipes become an option once I really start doing oil. Did I not? I thought at some point I had made some small derricks, some non-zero amounts of small derricks. Okay, that is all powered. How does 122 balance again? I forget. Do I not have it on a thingy? Doesn't look like it. No. Unfortunate. I'll at least do that. I would like to lane balance, but I don't think it'll ultimately matter. Alright, how many HPFs? Oh right, aren't I gonna need... I am gonna need steam in. $13, right. I need to make a lot of these. Three short. What am I short on materials? Oh, it'll be so nice when I'm actually able to make Mark II things. That is a crafting speed difference of 1, it looks like. That's more than 1 on filters, wow. How about the furnaces? They go to 1.5 from 0.5. Wow, that's triple. That is triple the crafting speed. Oh hey, I'm only short on copper. Gee, if only I had copper nearby. That's slightly sarcastic, because of course I have copper nearby. Oh, hello. Oh, those are medium. Unfortunate. Oh, hello. There's some close by wood that would have been helpful. Had I noticed it existing. Ah, da da da. Oh, now it's iron. Wonderful. Get thee to iron. I'll need to detour to make Nexlet at some point as well. And do the lead chain to start getting some non-zero silver. And I guess also the chromium chain to get some non-zero gold. Let's just make a whole bunch of HPFs. Back we go. There is something I want to look up, and that is the Factorio. Boiler. Steam. Rate. I want to know the actual amount of steam per second a boiler produces. One unit of steam for each unit of water. Okay, on a basic boiler. So 1 unit of steam per unit of water. I know that 1200 per second on water is 20 boilers, which means that's 60 units per second. Okay. So 60 units per second of steam is what is produced by a boiler. I just looked up boiler on the Factorio wiki and it just told me, hey, it's 1 unit of steam per unit of water in. That's great! Fantastic. That helps with my calculations a lot. And this matters because these need steam in. It needs 195 units of steam in. That means I need 4 boilers worth of steam. I also need, like, the coke to feed them. Boilers there. This is going to be interesting. Why will this be interesting? Well, as it turns out, so I need coke in. That much is certain. I need pipes for the steam. I need water for the boilers. I have the coke close, relatively, so that's fine. The coke line will feed the boilers, and it will feed the steam. I'm realizing that I think I have the boilers facing the wrong direction. Yes, they are on the wrong side. These need to be like so. Not worth doing undergrounds for this. That just keeps things a bit more organized. I also need an output line for the stone wool. So you can see where this starts getting a little bit complex. Fortunately, so 13 is a heck of a lot less than a single lane of yellows, so I don't need to worry about balanced outputs. Oh, but there's the issue. There's where we run into the issue, because yeah, power. So I'm gonna have to do undergrounds for this if I want to power it. Technically, I don't need blues to feed this, but they're what I have on me. Alright, and then power, well, I can do that one there, but may as well just do this like so. Just give each one its own power pole. Don't really feel like using burner inserters here. Could do, though. Alright, how many of these is... Alright, well... Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... Let's do this like so. .25, so a blue is fine. Heck, a red would be fine. Alexa, why? Why? Why did you go off? It's not... I didn't even remotely say its activation word, and yet it went off and told me something. I didn't even really hear it. All I know is that it was talking to me. Without me actually telling it to talk to me. Okay, you then just need your steam and coke. Let's bring this coke down. Probably gonna bring it down on this side of things. Then I have to think what line will I bring it from? I'll probably just do basic belt balancing because there's 3 here. Do. Ah, right. Mining stone. Done. Add new. Stone wool. 1.16 per second. Is it 1.6 or 60? I forget. Doesn't matter. Actually, you know what? I can call this stone wool 13 high pressure furnace. off we go. Darn it. Just so many rocks. I constantly complain about how many rocks are in the volcanic zone. It's like constant complaints about that. It really doesn't need this many rocks in it. Is there a break anywhere? I don't see any. Now I'm just waiting on the belt. There it is. There's the coke. And once that coke gets in here, I'll be producing everything. Earthine. Well, that's step one. Congratulations, I now have stone wool. Stone wool will be fed directly down to the reef line. So really, I have to bring this stone wool. Let's use this as an indicator. Whoa, that's... That was not intended. Now this is ever so slightly inefficient, but I want to avoid marring up with the coal patch there. And yeah, it would not be nice trying to do things perfectly efficiently. Probably need to pick up more belt. Absolutely need to pick up more belt. Then I have to consider making all the reefs. I still need to make all of the reefs. Really now. Alright, give me stuff. Yes, I did make a bunch of small oil derricks. Cool. Because while I'm out here, may as well have a look at the, really? At that oil patch I was looking at a little bit ago. Wait, is that a... That is a stock crude oil patch. Single thingy of oil. Alrighty then. Okay, so there's a bunch of oil in this general vicinity. These are mediums. 3 over here are also mediums. And this up here, I'm assuming, are small. These are small. So... Ugh. Alright, 59, 53, 52, 38.3, 38.9. Yeah, I figured just based off of the size of the squares on the map of the crude oil, that these squares are visibly smaller than these squares. That these are probably small oil. And it appears as if this is likely the only small oil that I have in my immediate vicinity besides the 2 in the starting location. Everything else is either medium, because I do have quite a bit of medium, apparently, and I do have some big. I don't know about massive being nearby, although I know massive exists because it's part of the tech tree. Yeah, though these are bigs. These are also bigs. These are mediums. Yeah, it's very fortunate that I have this. Among all the other things that I have, I also have the small oil patches. It's like, this map, though, it has absolutely everything. Like, there is nothing missing from this map. It's insane. Just, what is the... Why? Huh. So, Pyanodon, there appears to be an issue on the sizing of your small oil derricks. Because you can sort of place stuff overlapping on a tile. The outline is bigger than the actual, like, collision box, buildable area box. That's interesting. Let's not abuse that. Yes, I know about the switching to natural gas. It's what's the key combo? There's a key combo on that. Somewhere it's supposed to actually tell you that you can switch. I know I've seen it. Shift, yeah, G. G for gas! But yeah, you can get natural gas instead of oil from these. That much I did already know, fortunately. Is that almost everything? That's almost all of those. That's that piped. I'll just quickly add up 34.7 plus 37.7, 53.5, 38.3, 52.9, 38.9, and 59. That's 315 units of oil per second. Mining speed 1. Just want to make sure. Yeah, there's no modifier on that, so 1 per second. Of course, this is like not valuable to me, the actual speed. So that's for later. Let's get this steel wool finished. After that sidetrack distraction. Speaking of distractions, natural gas. Product of a lot of things, but you can just mine it. Condensates. I know this is used for tons of stuff. Condensates. Syngas is very, 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 very useful. That's... yeah, I may just want to switch over to natural gas just to make syngas out of it. Well, correction, it's very useful because it frees up coal gas for use for other things besides making syngas. That's that's what makes this useful. Plus, it gives you flue gas that you can convert into, you know, even more syngas. I think I still have this set up down here. Yeah, yeah, or at least convert into ash. You can convert that into ash. Um, Otherwise, natural gas gets methanol. Pretty good source of methanol. With molybdenum and hot air. Interesting. Now what does the methanol get used for? Refined syngas. Oh hey, isn't that convenient? And combustion and diesel. Hey, diesel. Styrene. Hey, ain't that convenient? And acetic acid. Interesting, interesting, interesting. And the condensates into raw gas. Hey, BTX. There's some BTX right there in that raw gas. refined natural. That's alright, so that's how you get up to refined natural. So natural to raw to refined natural. Okay, which will need biofilm. Also gives acid gas, which can go into sulfur. That goes into purified. That goes into pure. That goes into only methane. Huh. Residual gas into other things. Anyway, enough of that distraction. Let's say that's enough of that. Very easy to get distracted by all the things. Just spend hours digging into the, what is it really used for stuff. This will seem a little weird by doing it this way, but I will be... Let's see, you need also that stuff in. Alright. I'm just gonna bring this a little bit further back here. This transition upwards a little bit, just so that I can more easily scale the Kage substrate. Whatever the heck it's called. Pink goo. Alright. That just leaves... this sort of a setup here. Some, inserters to insert. Actually, no. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Gap of 2 in between these. Three in between these. That's 4, not 3. That puts max distance on the pipes, which is convenient. Man, why do I even need... I could do a gap of 2. If you're gonna do it correctly the first time. Or at least before you start scaling, and then regret what you've done. Pressured water will be probably in here. Yeah. Let's see, and I will need 16 of these reefs, 160 per second, which is just 2 of these. I guess just to have a little bit of extra oomph, I'll have 3. I need to figure out what I want to do with the wastewater. This will also consume some water. Ugh. Iron plates. Why are you not? Actually moving? Alright, something's not fully working here. What did I do this time? You are not moving because... What? Am I not actually hooked up? Right, water. That is the other thing. Water. Trying to consider what the closest source is. I think right here? Yeah. That would be the closest source of water. Just grab this water from over here. Ugh. This terrain speed penalty, I swear. Guess any of these would be decent enough. Where's my pump? And of course, volcanic zone rocks are the bane of my existence. Now for the arduous journey all the way back. Part of me is thinking, make grenades! And use them to blow up all the things that are in my way. Part of me is also like, get circuit 2s so you can eventually get personal roboports. Alright. Free of the volcanic zone. There we go. That should be steam. Enough steam. More than enough steam, technically, to feed all these. And that would be the first of the steel wool. Not steel wool. Stone wool. Being produced. Good. Now to make more Zipier reefs. Artificial reefs. Lots more. Steel. Interesting. Okay. You know, it might be just about that time to, do some molten steel casting. But first, since I've gone through and started making that, stone wool now, I think, as we're halfway through the stream, and by the way, the Summer Games Done Quick is officially begun right now, but we've still got half a stream to go. I'm going to take a quick break, and when we come back, I will be making more of those artificial reefs, and, feeding them. That'll be a big, big project to do. So I will be back soon. Very soon. Okay, I have returned. What was I doing again? More artificial reefs. I am in need of steel and iron. Lots of iron and steel. So this warrants... Uh-oh. Abandoned ship! I mean car! And grab the one right next door. Fortunately, I have a big old buffer. What's in here? Hello? Might be needing those at some point. So I just have to go down to where I have stuff that's being buffered. I mean, yeah, I can pick it up right off the bus, but... when I have stuff in a chest just sitting waiting for me, I may as well grab it and use it. From those. Ugh, then... is that just because you need copper, or is it because of circuit boards? That's what I thought. Oh boy. Lots of materials. Ooh, you even use stone bricks. Love it. I love seeing this. The entire belt's all the way backed up on the duralumin. Yay! Really? Oops. Boom, boom, boom. Apparently, I also need stone. Stone? Wow. This needs a lot of things. A lot of things. One... Now, I'm just trying to keep things fast here by making sure that I'm not handcrafting small parts, because I noticed that I was handcrafting small parts when I really didn't have to. But this is a lot of how many Zapier stuff? Oh, by the way, this one is... That's done. 16 reefs? I think I'll have enough with what I've made. Just have to worry about feeding it, setting them up. Just because 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, I'll actually have one spare. Oops. Off we go! One of these days I'll remember to grab pipe. Question of the century, I suppose, is... do I do this? The answer is yes. Clearly, I do this. Okay, now to get 13 of this. 16 of this, sorry. 4, 8, or 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Holy crap, that's really close to that coal. Let's see how all of this goes. Doink, doink. Whoops. That's the wrong dude. This is gonna take a while. This is gonna take a couple minutes, by the way. Setting all this up. Stone wool has finally made it. Welcome to the party, Stone Wool. Glad to see that you have finally decided to join the rest of us. Whoa. That was off by 1. Lots of pipe. Where am I going to actually... Right there. Technically don't need those. So, this is just the logistics of it, which is going to just take a bit longer. Let's see, what can I What can I talk about while doing this while doing this tedium that I did wrong and fixing what I've done wrong? Let's see. Lately, I have been reading things, light novels, plenty of light novels. On my website, otakushowboat.com, on the sidebar is a little widget from Goodreads, which shows the latest books slash light novels slash manga, whatever I've been reading, that I have been finished reading within, I think it is the last day, like the previous day, in terms of how often it updates, because doesn't it doesn't update constantly. It's like a daily tick that it updates on, I think. But anyway, generally speaking, it's what I've recently finished reading, but it might not be fully reflective of what I finished the previous night. And yeah, so I just finished reading last night a light novel called Torture Princess, Volume 1, which was, oddly enough, quite good. It was quite good. Definitely a much darker take on the isekai genre than most other light novels that I've been reading lately. So I thought that one was pretty good, actually. For a light novel, pretty good, but especially coming off of the last one that I read. Oh boy. So the last light novel that I read right before this was The hero is overpowered but overly cautious, which is absolutely as stupid as it sounds. So I mean, once I decided to actually finish reading it, I somewhat engaged with it, but I mean, it's just a stupid little story of very. I mean, you have to turn your brain off to really get any enjoyment out of that one. But anyway, let's see. So that is just needing the water and saline water connection, and then I have to figure out what I want to do with waste water. Not currently making filtration media. I could send in CO2 to logs. I could convert it directly into urea, but I don't really have a use for that immediately. At some point, I could turn it into tailings or methanol. Don't have the local CO2. So, gas vent. Or, no, sinkholes. 106, I only need 2 sinkholes. 2 is good. 2 is fine. And then what I decided to start reading now, after going through those 2, as my most recent two. I had also finished Ari Ferretta from Commonplace to World's Strongest Volume 9 right before going into Overpowered but Overly Cautious, and then Torture Princess. But now it's Volume 1 of I will never pronounce it right or remember the actual name off the top of my head, but Jobless Reincarnation is the subtitle. Sere Gensuki or something like that is the name. Which volume 2 of that is already out, and 3 is coming relatively soon. But yeah, I was like, I had stopped reading it partway through, about a quarter of the way in, for a while, and I need to finish it. There are a few light novel volumes that I am partially through and haven't finished yet, of which the only one of those I most likely will never finish because I hated it. That one being Cooking with Wild Game. That one I just no. That can just die in a fire. I am not interested in the slightest. I read some pretty stupid stuff, but that one just was not engaging in the slightest for me. Oh, needs more poles. Also, this will end up producing very, 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 very few God, I will really, really be very happy to get to module tech. Maybe I should have had that gap of 3 so that I could fit in bacon between these bacons. Glorious juicy bacons. Let's head back and get power poles. Because I am automating those. The issue being, of course, that I'm automating those at the very beginning of my bus. Off we go. One thing I should also probably do on the liquid bus is forcibly align everything so that it's not, like, disgusting. And so that I could actually, you know, drive through things. Drive through the bus easily. Okay, let's get... I need my saline water hooked up. And I need water hooked up. Regular water. Speaking of regular water... way up here. Way up here. Jeez, how far? Again, speed reduction not helping. Just for reference. Lubricant, right. Also, for reference... 1.5 into 3 per second. Okay, so it's better to do belts locally. Much better to do belt where it's being used, because it's more efficient to bus rubber than belt. Good to know. How many of these? 7. I'm just preparing the next step of this. Don't mind me as I do my prep work. Okay, water everywhere. Good thing I've got so many underground pipes. Cough, cough. How unfortunate. Done. Solved. Pressurize the water. And give me all the saline. And that gets things moving. Oh, those are huge. Okay. Those are things. Big, 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 big things. Big things making roary noises. Eerie noises. And here we are, just going to, you know, kill them, turn them into blood, use their blood, kill them and take their blood from them and use the blood for sacrifices to the blood god, but whatever. Okay, that's reefs. Done. And oddly enough, that's the 7 automated factories. But I need to do something with skin and the other stuff. Collagen. Which I could use to make phosphoric acid. Isn't that lovely? Why does it have to give phosphate rocks? I don't know. What I do know is that this is, in total, still less than a yellow belt. At this point in time, I am probably just going to burn everything. Until I need it. I mean, Resolin is going to use myoglobin. Myoglobin, paramagnetic material, text that I can't even do anything with meat at the moment, and I can't do anything of value with bones besides make lard. I could make fertilizer with bone. Lard for this etching solution recipe, but am I even going to do... Oh, well, I have to. I have to do for this recipe. Because I need etching solution for this whole process. So I don't have a choice. I have to make lard somehow, and the bones and steam are a way of doing that. But also, I could do this with mushrooms and Relesia, which seems like a much better option. And a Muckmo. Muckmo pastures. That seems like the solution. It's like, am I literally slaughtering pigs for lard in Muckmo? I think I'm literally slaughtering pigs for lard. Let's see. Ash and salt? Or are they horses? Oh boy. I'm thinking salt lick for horses, but anyway. Let's see. 60 seconds, 35 seconds, 50 seconds, 40. So just setting in salt is the best option for the Muckmo. That's interesting, to say the least. I think I'll do that for lard. In the meantime, I will need to filter the... Actually, no, I don't need to filter a dang thing. This is all going to be burned. Every single one of these physical outputs will be burned. Probably need to get more burners. Probably need more, and of course I need input of fuel. Of course, that was a tile off. Boink, 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 boink. I think 5's enough for a little over half a yellow belt of inputs. I hope so. It better be. Let's put it like that. It had dang well better be. Better be. And that, as they say, is that question mark? Of course, these are just one tile too large. These machines will back up with the blood because I also have to hook up the pipes for the blood. Meat and bones and skin and, yeah. Yes! Things, glorious things. Destroy it all! Unfortunately, that still needs more. Oh, hello. helps. Yeah, 71%. Still not enough. Ten! 10 things! Destroy all the things. Destroy it all. You monster. Would it be wrong of me to call these things that I'm slaughtering whales? They're... I mean, they're clearly giant shrimp, but... they've got... meat, so they're not... crustacean? They're crustacean-like, but with bones and muscle. Yet they have the exoskeleton type claws, but I mean this mouth part's soft tissue. Meh. They're things. Things is what they are. Things with meat and skin and bones. That I am mercilessly slaughtering for blood. For the blood god. Okay, and then this was done in a mixer? No. What was this done in? Next step. Alright, so this... That's done. Blood meal from fiberboard and blood in evaporators. 16! And I need fiberboard. I was going to use this recipe, wasn't I? Yes, fiberboard. How much fiberboard? Four per second. Four per second. Okay. Wait, is... F... Oh, hello. That's a different reactor. Oh, that's making methanol. Right. Was that a... this? Yes, it was. Phew! Oh, hey, it's Rayon. Oh my gosh, that is going to take a while. Wait, powdered Relesia? I'm going to need phenolic. What the heck is Bakelite? Bakelite. It's Bakelite! Baking! Alright, you produce 1.6. I'm just going to compare. Okay, well this is a lot easier of a recipe. It gives me exactly how much I need. And it gives me all this other crap, including some organic solvent, which I'm going to be needing anyway. Tall oil and black liquor I could do things with as well at some point. Yeah, I guess the smart thing to do is to just do the easier recipe here. It's still 3 items per second of the sodium hydroxide, which, since I'm doing this process already for circuit 1, because this process is required on circuit 1s, let's go have a look-see down the bus. And let's see if I can actually siphon off any of this. This gets used in the... Okay, so this is it. This is the thing. It gets used in Formica, right? This one machine only needs up to 0.4, and this produces 0.5, which only needs 0.2 out of the 0.8. I mean, I could theoretically siphon off from here, but what I'm more interested in siphoning off from is these. These are what I'm more interested in siphoning off from. Then here is the fiber, the sodium hydroxide, and the treated wood. That's what interests me, is just the inputs here. So to feed 5, I would need 3 atoms per second on the treated wood. Well, that's 2 of those normally. So unfortunately, because that is a full ratio, that is a ratio without like remainders, looks like I'm not going to siphon off of here, but that does mean that one of those feeds. No, it's 2 to 5. That is the ratio, buddy. It's 2 to 5. Then it's the sodium hydroxide and raw fiber. So 3 per second on that and 5 on that. Well, this produces up to 1 per second for 2 electrolyzers. Oh boy. One of these is 0.6. Needs saline water. I'm pretty sure that's a lot more saline water than what I am currently producing. So, eh. Eh. And then the Gickalk plantation. One Gickalk plantation, it gets fed by soil and clay. 0.27, how much do I need per second here? Oh my, that's a bottleneck. Alright, good to know that that's a bottleneck, even in this system. Looks like I need to actually get 3 more of those put down. And another one of you, just to feed this fully, but anyway, I didn't even bother building my Circuit 1 production to any degree of ratio or scale. Maybe I should go back and do that. But my concern is getting 5 pulp mills, so I'll need 5 per second on the raw fiber. Kickalks, I'll need wood. Sulfur-based gases? That would be interesting. Copper. Glass. Why so much copper? Oh, it's circuits. Right. Right. Circuits. Lots of circuits. Oh, this is using some lead as well for these 5000L tanks. Okay, you. Do you have alternative recipes? I think it has plenty of them. Yeah, with lamps. That's 24 per 180. By adding its lamp and clay, so no soil at that point. Lamp, clay, and water. It goes 30 every 120, which is a huge increase. Raw fiber has a fuel value of 6. That's... Hold up, isn't coke like 5? Yeah, coke is 5. That's more fuel value than coke. Holy hell, I should be feeding anything that only needs fuel frickin' raw fiber then. Yeah, it's like, this is a much better fuel. Like, if all I need is fuel value, I should use this. Because while, yes, I can convert mushrooms into coal and into, then from coal into coke, this is a much better fuel value. And I think this is more economical on the power in the end, right? Wouldn't this be more economical on power? Oh, speaking of power, hello. Something's not operating fully. But this would require automating lamps. And this would require adding CO2 and sand into the mix. I think going to the lamps is the way to go here, because this will just require way too much to get up to, what was it, 5 per second? Versus this, which makes it really simple and easy. It's just 10 kick alts. Don't need soil at all, just need clay. 2 clay, right? 2.5, sorry. It's 4 clay, technically, but... which is 100 units of steam, which is 2 boilers. And, lamps are simply glass, copper cable, copper plate, and iron plate. How many lamps? 0.17 per second on the lamps. Because it's 1 lamp per 30. Yeah, I think this might just be a really economical way of getting stuff and things. Now, the next thing is, since I'm doing this down here, do I expand this and bus? I think that's what I do. In fact, I probably should just expand and bus all the various things. And like even expand the pulp mill line, do all of that down here, and bus out the pulp stuff. Let's go ahead and do that. So I apparently need probably 12 total, because I want to make sure that I still have enough to feed all the way down there for the circuit ones. Means I still need quite a few. Which means I need to go back and get some... pick up some more lead. And I need a place to make the lamps. Which should be easy enough. I think I can do lamps. Oh, I'm bussing clay. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Well, anyway. Lamps. Iron, copper. Oh, really? Good thing I need nowhere near 1 per second. Um... Then it's glass. Glass, glass, glass. Ew. Ew. Phew. Talk about a tight fit. Oh boy. That one was tight. Tight, 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 tight fit. Speaking of tight fits. Have I even used my... I don't think I've even used this second lane. This was supposed to be another lane reserved to have additional iron. But I'm thinking I will just have this as the lamps. The reason, of course, being that if I want to put the lamps on my bus, you can sort of see the problem here. They're being produced here, but they would need to be sent way over here. Theoretically, everything on this bus on this section is accounted for. Used and accounted for. I just haven't, you know, brought everything extended out yet. Because why bother, quote, wasting belt by extending everything evenly together if you're not going to be using all of it. Anyway. Two. This will be fine. Let's not worry about a thing. So he says. It is going to be fine and dandy. Alright, so lane 2 is Fauge substrate. Which means I need to get all the way up to lane 3. So I'll probably want to do that somewhere over here. Let's pull her up right here. No, can't do that. How about here? No, that's not gonna work. Okay. So yeah, this is the problem. Guess right over here. Yep. That'll be that. Off we go. There is something to be said, though, for bypassing the bus a bit to the south. I don't know. Guess I'll just do this way. Says he's gonna put it on his second line of the bus, then does not. Is stubborn and does not. Alright, let's swap you to that. I no longer need the soil. Probably just could have done the lamps right at the soil, but meh. Oh well. This makes things simpler, really. Thank goodness, that was all... Squeeze me? That is bad. Aw, no more drink! I have no more coffee. The coffee cup beeth empty. There's only 20 more minutes left anyway. Go, my glorious lamps! Can't believe I'm bussing lamps of all things. Of all things to have on the bus. Let's have lamps. Lamps for some plantations for stuff. Which, by the way, will also be bussed. Maybe. Maybe. I'll just have that out. Just in case. Just in case. I mean, if I end up just doing everything locally through to here, and I just produce enough of this, like have 7 pulp mills or something going, I can just bust the fiberboard instead. That's, not an issue. Not a major issue for me. So I think that's what I'll do, is I'll focus on busting the fiberboard, but I want to have something just in case I change my mind. Anyway, 8... Lead. Lead, lead, lead. Give me my car. Glorious car. Let's go. Get thee to lead. Which isn't even bust. I have to, like, go way further down. Because I still don't have a demand on lead. All of this copper stuff needs to be deleted at some point, but I don't need the space for it at the moment. Here, have Coke. Thank you for the lead. Glorious lead. Whoa. Had some hiccups there, performance hiccups. This is gonna drive me pretty nuts. 0.3. 0.38. More than consuming the ash that I am producing. Oh, that's not good. Let's not. Let's not burn any of the ash. Nurseries, nurseries, nurseries. Why do the wood-producing buildings need wood? Rhetorical question, please don't answer. These aren't really burning anything, because I'm consuming all of my syngas. I definitely don't need to do my burning here. It's not a necessity. Can I not do this differently? I don't know. Part of me is saying just demolish all this because you don't need the coal dust stuff. Or you don't need the coke from this necessarily. And it's encroaching on my water. Part of me is like thinking add more elsewhere. Part of me just doesn't want to touch it. I'm not gonna think about this too much right now. I'm gonna put a box with the thingies for it though in it. Okay, car. Back I go. Here I stop. You're moving, right? Yes. You are moving. You are moving. That's a lot of... Oh, you're making parts. Making parts, and you shouldn't be needing to make parts. And circuits. So let's have a look at as well the clay production. Whoops, wrong key. So one of these is 0.25, yes? Or 0.5, okay. Walking down. I will need to expand that as well. One of these is 1, so it's 2 to 1. So I want to make sure that I have 12 total of these machines. Which means I need one more. One more. Whoops, wrong thingy. That one. I guess I should update my to-do. I am currently doing... what was it again? It's... +5 on fiberboard production. Alrighty then. Why do you have so many? You don't need even remotely close to this many things. There we go. Okay, that is the inputs. Now for the fluid inputs. This should... Oh, I need more pipes. More pipes! Glorious pipes! Kitty is digging behind me. I hear it. Alright, bring this down. And, I mean, this isn't necessarily the best way of doing this. How about I do the adjustment now and just delete all this? Better I do this fix now than later. And I say fix, but reality is it's just rescaling or reorienting how this is done and focusing on the long-handed inserters a bit more. This way, it's an even distribution at the same exact speed of the inserter, and it deposits on both sides, so it's essentially even output, evenly distributed output. Excellent. That is that, as they say. And since I have 12, that's 40% of a yellow belt in total. Of course, I'm not currently consuming all of this quite yet, but just working my way down the line. I guess the next thing is I very likely do not have enough clay to properly feed these. I need 3 per second on clay, which means I need 4 clay pits. to a 3, a 4. Clay pits require. They are here. Just need some more iron. 1, 2, 3. That's useful to know that they do share, and it is 100 per second, so I will need a second boiler. Alright, boiler, thank you for boiling. That makes sure that I have enough steam, more than enough steam, actually. And, same thing here. Just change up the outputs a little bit. And there we go. These should operate at full efficiency. Unfortunately, it's an odd number of clay. Then I need to, of course, make sure that that connects. And that, as they say, is that. Huzzah. So that's enough clay to feed all of these kickalks for fiber. And with that, it is now 1 o'clock and time to end off the stream for today. So what got done today, honestly? Not too particularly much. I got stone wool production up here, producing stone wool, so that I could then start producing some, like, sea creatures. I guess that's what I'll call them. Sea creatures on a big long line of artificial reefs, and then slaughtering them into all of the glorious things, including blood. Including the blood. I am just burning all of the physical products out of this for now. Eventually, they will all get sorted and used, but I need to keep this moving for blood. I will then eventually be producing blood meal, but for blood meal I need fiberboard, and for fiberboard, well, I happen to be producing fiberboard right down here, right here already, so I have all the things necessary to produce fiberboard. I can just expand and bus the fiberboard to make my blood meal. Why do I need blood meal? I need blood meal for a recipe that I am using to produce nylon. That will be used in this PCB factory to produce the circuit substrates, and it will be used to produce Kevlar. So I have actually several things that need nylon / nylon parts in the process of eventually getting up to circuit 2s. So what we ended off with was then expanding the stuff that's needed for producing additional fiberboard. I do next time need to work on expanding my electrolysis and salt water, as well as expanding my wood production to feed into additional treated wood. I do not need to worry about my creosote. I have lots of that, and then some. I have plenty of creosote and plenty of tar to feed the creosote, so that I'm not worried about. I just need more wood production itself to feed into more treated wood, and I need more saline water to feed into the requisite amount of uh, electrolysis machines to produce enough of the solid stuffs to go into fiberboard. And then I'm gonna have to like work on how I'm taking care of the various byproducts here, because I want this organic solvent to void behind an overflow valve, because I will be using the organic solvent in etching solution a little bit later. At least I think it's etching solution. But anyway, with that, we have reached the end. Oh yeah, and I'm totally automating and bussing and using lamps. So yeah, with that, I would like to thank you all for watching. This has been Otaku Showboat. Go watch SGDQ this entire week. I will, of course, be streaming like normal. Oh, and I cannot forget that I did actually start a little bit. I placed my oil. I have placed my derricks on oil, so it's ready and waiting for me. Alright. I will be back on Monday with more of the Angels playthrough, and I will, of course, be back on Tuesday with more of the Pyanodons playthrough. Thank you all again for watching, and I will see you next time.